You have to start learning, because as you learn and grow, and I could say this because I've watched Dion's channel and Zuber's, and I did rentals and I did properties, and I wouldn't have did it without those guys, to be honest with you. I did watch Brandon Turner as well and Bigger Pockets, but these people are the ones you want to get voices that are positive in your head. And work starts with learning, I believe. Maybe that's the teacher in myself, but that's my first step, I believe. You got to read the books, you got to watch the channels, and you got to get in the rooms with people that have done it before, right? You want to take financial advice from a broke person. You want to take health advice from a fat person, you know what I mean? And so on. So I think too many people are listening to their cousin that, bro, your cousin's broke. Don't talk to you. Even Michael Zuber talks about fire your friends, right? It sounds super harsh. I totally understand. But there is some truth to that, because sometimes they're really dragging you down. They're hurting you, and they want to see you stuck. I lost my dad 7 years ago now, and they say one of the reasons why that's heartbreaking is because that's the one man in your life that actually wants to see you do better than him. And that's why it's so hard, because you lose that person. Well, one thing I found in this community is we want to see each other succeed. We want you to grow. That's why there's a channel. You don't get tons of money. I haven't made a penny, you know what I mean? But I want people to get off zero and start learning. So that's my first step, is just start learning first. And I have more, but I don't want to talk too long.
I do want to bring up quickly, though. I like how you mentioned Kiyosaki. And I just want to say, Dion, I think people enjoyed you kind of calling Matt Dion Kiyosaki 2.0 in your most recent one of your live or videos with Zuber and the Three Amigos, but people did enjoy that. But I definitely relate to the kind of fire your friends or audit your network. I think I always talk about it. That is definitely the hardest place for me, especially in the firehouse. And you guys talk about learning still yet and questioning, always questioning things. And even just yesterday, I actually spoke with the ERS, the retirement system, and same thing. They're saying, so many people don't ever call, confirm things. It's all hearsay, right? You hear other firefighters talk about, all you got to do is get to this year and this percentage, and you get this much medical and this and that. So we hear all these things, but we don't ever confirm it. So actually, I did speak with them yesterday, got some things validated that my confirmations were correct. But even they mentioned that sometimes people don't call and it messes them up. Like someone they said retired at 14 years and 11 months when they thought they had 15 years. So then by retiring 1 month early, they didn't collect their medical benefits, and all they had to do was call in and find out. But things like that, right? So Dion, where do you want to question us, or where do you want to push us on this? Because that's what I'm waiting for.
So I'll give you an example to each of you, and then I'll cover the example myself. So Nick, you're talking with a coworker, right? So this isn't one of your students. You don't have to be apolitical. You can actually have an opinion. And they say, I see that you're investing. It seems like it's going really well for you. I would love to invest. I don't have any money. What do I do?
Yeah. Okay. So the first thing I would talk about is you got to start with the budget, because I would cut all the things that you don't need out. For instance, just the memberships alone. If you look on your phone and you look at subscription services and everything like that, you could save yourself hundreds of dollars, literally just off membership subscriptions, Netflix, Hulu, Disney, ESPN, Max, HBO, your magazines, whatever you got. So my first thing to get off zero is look at the things you could cut out. Cut out the nonsense, cut out the noise. You know what I mean? And we're not even at you can't have your $5 coffee or anything like that yet. That what's his name? I can't iced coffee. You know what I'm talking about. Grant. Yeah. So, but just right there alone, I think you could already cut out hundreds of dollars out of your budget. And from there, you could already start dollar cost averaging, and you haven't done anything to make more money yet. You just literally cut things out. So that would be my first step.
Okay. Mark, basically same question. You're talking with a coworker or somebody who works in a similar field. So maybe they're not in your firehouse. So you don't have to worry about them talking to your boss. And they say, you're investing, you own properties. I would like to do that too. I don't have any money. How do I get started?
I would tell them that they really just have to audit their surroundings. And I mean, I know that a lot of people in the firehouse are still doing well successfully from their paycheck, from their job. But is that the lifestyle you want of working 25, 30 years, relying on that pension? And I think the last 5 to 7 years, I think really just opened my eyes to how risky that is. For example, just we had referenced something just happened a couple weeks ago. There was a guy one of our guys who could retire. He was just working, pounding the overtime, getting that extra high three, but he fell off the truck. And he's currently paralyzed right now from his nipples down. And he got flown out to Colorado seeking extra treatment. But now that's impacted the rest of his life, basically. But yeah, to me, it's just really audit your surrounding and really change your mindset and realize that you can do it in 10 years. If you happen to want to work 25 years in the firehouse still yet, that's great. But put yourself in a position where if you get hurt, if something happens, life changes, you can always walk away. But I definitely think auditing your surrounding and for Hawaii, this might relate a little bit more to Hawaii, but I think just having hope still yet. I think a lot of guys I see, they see the prices of homes and they just feel they've given up hope, and it's just constantly taking the next trip or buying the next new truck. And it's like, I'm never going to own a home here, so I'm just going to live for the moment. What would be your place that you would start, Dion? I know you probably go to a lot of meetups, and there's probably a lot of people that do reach